wanted to speak on how the rhetoric, silence speaks louder than words, can be more harmful than helpful in regards to romantic relationships. When it comes to relational conflict, people perpetuate this idea that you essentially can teach someone else a lesson by the lack of your words. And it's proposed in this way of self-preservation and self-respect when, in fact, I think it's more so rooted from ego and maybe even punishment. And it really is just important to understand that when we hear certain phrases, not to take them and run with them, because everybody's situation is it's very subjective. Even the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, that could mean the entire world to somebody. And the minute that someone doesn't show up in the way that they desire, it's like, okay, well, clearly he didn't want to. Whereas a better wording could be, if he had the capacity, he would. Because a lot of people do want to do things. There's a lot of things I want to do, but sometimes we just don't have the capacity yet. And so it could be more harmful because it allows someone to believe that that person never cared about them, when sometimes that's just not the case. And so in the case of silence speaks louder than words, especially when it comes to just expressing your needs, like some people have this idea that the fact that you've expressed your feeling one time, that the second time that you feel like you need to express yourself again, now you're doing too much. Now you're like, it's like, well, why do you feel like you need to prove a point, And it's like, well, no, that's exactly what it is. It's like, why do I also feel the need to try to prove a point to them and believing that I'm so unbothered and that I'm silent about it? And I feel like some people are able to live off of that, and that's exactly what works for them and it's helpful for them. Whilst for others it's more harmful. Like for me, I'm a heavy communicator. I have my moments where I do want to shut down, and sometimes I do temporarily, but for the most part, I at least communicate that fact. And I'll say, hey, I'm not really in the headspace to talk right now. Let's circle back, or I'll get back to you when I can. There you go. I can take my silence and it's respected it because it's understood and it was communicated. Or take, for example, if someone disrespects you, people will take this idea, silence speaks louder than words, and really run with it and never express how they feel or what they really needed. And especially when they never even gave that person the opportunity to even know that this is what they needed, that this is how they felt. They just assume that somebody else should know exactly how they feel. And even in the cases that you've already expressed how you felt, you had to think about what is more harmful and helpful to you. Is it more harmful to remain silent because you're trying to preserve your ego, and because TikTok tells you that, girl, you better stand up and not explain to that man how you feel? It's like he already knows. Sure, he might know, but that's the thing. You expressing yourself one more time, if that's what's helpful for you so you don't keep on ruminating, it's better for you to do that because you're not doing it for him. You're doing it for yourself. And so even trying to remain silent, are you really doing it for you? Are you doing it because somebody else told you to? Are you doing it so he responds a certain way, or that he doesn't think that you're too much, or X, Y, and Z? That you're just going to keep living your life based off how other people feel instead of how you feel. And if you're not careful, it could easily become manipulative, because now you're trying to change the circumstance into your own favor by remaining silent and weaponizing that. So I think it's just really important for all of us to use our critical thinking and to understand that we're not a monolith. Every one of us are going through our own unique experiences. And so when we hear particular phrases, we need to be able to apply it in ways that make the most sense to our life and to our feelings and to our capabilities and capacities and how we know we operate. Because if we're not careful, we can unintentionally cause harm, not only to others, but most importantly to ourselves.